RBI lowers repo rate to 7.25%. The Reserve Bank of India in its second bi-monthly policy announced on has reduced the policy repo rate under the Liquidity Adjustment Facility (LAF) by 25 basis points from 7.5% to 7.25% with immediate effect. It has decided to keep the cash reserve ratio (CRR) of scheduled banks unchanged at 4.0% of net demand and time liabilities (NDTL). It has decided to continue to provide liquidity under overnight repos at 0.25% of bank-wise NDTL at the LAF repo rate and liquidity under 14-day term repos as well as longer-term repos of up to 0.75% of NDTL of the banking system through auctions and continue with overnight term variable rate repos and reverse repos to smooth liquidity. The reverse repo rate under the LAF stands adjusted to 6.25% and the marginal standing facility (MSF) rate and the bank rate to 8.25%. Bangladesh Liberation War Award for Vajpayee. Bangladesh is set to honor former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee for his outstanding support for the country's independence from Pakistan in 1971 when he was a Lok Sabha member. BIS-app launched. Union Food and Consumer Affairs Minister Ramvilas Paswan launched a BIS-app to register complaints against substandard quality of ISI-marked products and hallmark jewelry. Ericsson partners Sterlite for smart city initiatives in India. Under the agreement, Ericsson will collaborate with Sterlite to design a roadmap and deploy solutions. The alliance will design, deploy, integrate and manage solutions in areas like communications, public safety, smart grid solutions and intelligent transport. Sterlite is working closely with the government to drive smart sustainable city initiatives and supports Digital India program. Jyoti Prasad Rajkhowa sworn in as Arunachal Pradesh Governor. Jyoti Prasad Rajkhowa was sworn in as the 19th Governor of Arunachal Pradesh. President Pranab Mukherjee had appointed him as Governor on May 12, 2015 after then Governor Lieutenant General Nirbhay Sharma was transferred to Mizoram. Snowden awarded Freedom of Expression Prize in Norway. Former security contractor Edward Snowden won a Norwegian Prize for Freedom of Expression. The Norwegian Academy of Literature and Freedom of Expression said the 31-year-old fugitive had won the Bjørnson Prize named after a Norwegian Nobel Literature laureate for his work protecting privacy and for shining a critical light on U.S. surveillance of its citizens and others. India, USA Inc. New Defense Framework Accord. India and the US signed a new strategically important 10-year defense framework pact envisaging joint development and manufacture of defense equipment and technology including jet engines, aircraft carrier design and construction. Both sides also finalized two project agreements for high-tech mobile power source and next-generation protective suits for chemical and biological warfare. India jumped 6 places in FIFA rankings. India has jumped 6 places to 141st position in the latest rankings released by World Football's governing body FIFA. India was previously placed 147th in the rankings list. Iran, 41, is the top-ranked Asian team in the list, followed by Japan, 52, and South Korea, 58. World champions Germany continued to head the rankings. Belgium jumped to 2nd place, a place above World Cup runners-up Argentina. 5-time world champions Brazil are 5th, a spot below Colombia. Brazil is followed by the Netherlands, Portugal, 7th, Uruguay, 8th, and France, 9th. De Villiers crowned South African Cricketer of the Year. De Villiers won as many as 5 awards, including the South African Cricketer of the Year for a second consecutive time at a gala function, hosted by Cricket South Africa, CSA, in Johannesburg. The 27-year-old batsman was named the ODI Cricketer of the Year, Cricketers Cricketer of the Year, Safans Cricketer of the Year and also got the So Good Award for scoring the fastest century in the history of ODI cricket against the West Indies in December 2014. Infi appoints Seshasui as chairman. Infosys Limited announced that the company's board have approved the appointment of R. Seshasui as non-executive chairman of the board with immediate effect. KV Kamath will be stepping down from his position as chairman of the board and as an independent director of the company, consequent to his nomination as president of the BRICS New Development Bank. KV Chowdhury is new CVC. Vijay Sharma new CIC. Former chairman of the Central Board of Direct Taxes, KV Chowdhury, was on Monday appointed as the new Central Vigilance Commissioner, while the senior-most Information Commissioner, Vijay Sharma, is the new Chief Information Commissioner. A selection panel headed by the Prime Minister, which includes leader of the principal opposition party, and senior cabinet ministers selects the CVC, CIC, Vigilance Commissioners and Information Commissioners. The Central Vigilance Commission is headed by a CVC and comprises 2 Vigilance Commissioners, and today's appointment constitutes the full commission. Tendulkar finally strikes gold as India finishes third at Asian Athletics Championships. Tendulkar bagged her maiden gold in a major international event by winning the women's 800 meters finals as India finished with 5 medals on the final day of competitions to sign off third in the 21st Asian Athletics Championships. India's first state-of-the-art dry oil spill response center inaugurated by Gadkari. Tackling pollution and oil spills in and around Mumbai will now become much easier, as Union Minister of Road Transport and Highways and Shipping, Nitin Gadkari inaugurated the India's first-of-its-kind state-of-the-art dry oil spill response center for Mumbai and JNPT Harbour. The OSRC, which is equipped with state-of-the-art equipment in operational readiness for combating dry oil spill up to 700 tons, ensures adequate protection to the public health and welfare and to the marine environment. 7th International Junior Shotgun, Anandjeet wins skeet gold. Anandjeet Singh Neeruka beat Larry Payson of Finland 12-11 in the skeet match for gold in the 7th International Junior Shotgun Cup that concluded in Oromantala, Finland. R.C. Tile appointed as new Director General of National Security Guard. Senior IPS officer R.C. Tile has been appointed as the new Chief of the Elite Counter-Terror Force National Security Guard, NSG. The 1980 batch Assam Meghalaya cadre officer is at present serving as the Special Director General in paramilitary CRPF and is heading its formation in Jammu and Kashmir. 26 African countries create TFTA, Cape Town to Cairo Free Trade Zone. African countries have signed a historic Tripartite Free Trade Area, TFTA, that facilitates creation of Africa's largest free trade zone. This free trade zone will cover 26 countries in an area from southernmost tip of African continent, that is Cape Town to Cairo in the north. The pact was signed in Egypt will intend to ease the movement of goods across 26 member countries, which represent more than half the continent's GDP. TFTA pact combines existing 3 trade blocs among the African nations with Southern African Development Community, SADC, East African Community, EAC, Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, COMESA. It will remove trade barriers on most goods, making them cheaper and stimulating $1 trillion worth of economic activity across the region of more than 600 million people. Forbes list: Dhoni only Indian among world's richest athletes. Cricketer Mahendra Singh Dhoni is the only Indian sportsman in Forbes magazine's 100 highest paid athletes in the world. Dhoni has been ranked 23rd on the Forbes list of the world's highest paid athletes 2015, dropping a notch from his ranking of 22 last year. Dhoni's total earnings stood at $31 million. Including amount from salary, winnings at $4 million and endorsements worth $27 million. The earnings figures include salaries, prize money and bonuses paid out between June 2014 and June 2015. Dick Costolo resigned as CEO of Twitter Incorporated. Dick Costolo on the 11th of June 2015 resigned as the Chief Executive Officer, CEO, of Twitter Incorporated after serving the company for 5 years. Costolo will demit the office of CEO on the 1st of July 2015. Twitter co-founder and Square Incorporated CEO Jack Dorsey will take over as the interim CEO of the company on the 1st of July 2015 and will stay until a replacement is found. US becomes world's largest oil producer, says BP report. As per recently released report by British Petroleum, BP, energy company, United States, US, became the world's largest oil producer in 2014, surpassing Saudi Arabia. Production: US had produced 11.6 million barrels of oil per day, that is 15.9% more oil in 2014, while Saudi Arabia was placed second position as it had produced 11.5 million bpd in 2014. Russia was placed at third position with 10.8 million bpd oil production. Natural gas production: US also has surpassed Russia as the world's largest producer of natural gas. Consumption: China had remained the world's largest growth market for energy in 2014. Facts related to India: India's oil production had declined by 1.3% at 895,000 bpd, while the consumption had increased by 3% to 3.8 million bpd. India has shown 7.1% rise in energy consumption. 14th June, World Blood Donor Day. World Blood Donor Day is being observed across the world on the 14th of June to raise the public awareness about the need for safe blood donation. The theme of this year's campaign is "Thank you for saving my life." This year's campaign encourages donors all over the world to donate blood voluntarily and regularly with the slogan "Give freely, give often." Blood donation matters. Objective: to spread awareness about the need for safe and secure blood supplies. Provide an opportunity to draw public attention to the importance of blood donation for saving lives. N elected Denmark's Mogens Lykketoft to head General Assembly. The United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, on the 15th of June 2015 elected Denmark's Mogens Lykketoft as its president for its upcoming 70th session in September 2015. He will have tenure of 1 year and succeeds Uganda's Sam Kutesa to preside over the 193-member body. Lykketoft presently is the Speaker of Danish Parliament since 2011 and is a member of the Social Democrats Party. Sunil Chhetri becomes first Indian to score 50 international goals. Prolific striker Sunil Chhetri on Tuesday became the first Indian footballer to score 50 international goals during his team's 2018 World Cup qualifying match against Guam. Chhetri's feat, though, came in a losing cause, as India suffered their second successive defeat in the preliminary joint qualification second round. Former captain Bachung Bhutia stays at the second spot with 42 goals in 107 matches, while Mvijayan has 40 goals from 79 games. This meanwhile, was Chhetri's 87th match. Book titled Modi: Incredible Emergence of a Star in Chinese Language, written by Tyrone Vijay. A book on Prime Minister Narendra Modi titled Modi: Incredible Emergence of a Star, written in Chinese language by Tyrone Vijay. The book was published in July 2014 by Sichuan University's South Asia Study Center. The book is a biography based on the life and economic vision of Narendra Modi. India, USA Inc. New Defense Framework Accord. India and the US signed a new strategically important 10-year defense framework pact envisaging joint development and manufacture of defense equipment and technology including jet engines, aircraft carrier design and construction. Both sides also finalized 2 project agreements for high-tech mobile power source and next-generation protective suits for chemical and biological warfare. India sets 2 Guinness World Records on International Yoga Day. India has set 2 Guinness World Records in Rajpath Yoga event held on the eve of first International Yoga Day led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. First record is the largest number of participants. 35,985 people had participated in largest yoga demonstration at a single venue, that is Rajpath Yoga event. Second is the most number of nationalities at a single event. People of 84 nationalities performed yoga at one place. The awards were received by Union Ayush Minister Shripad Yeso Naik from representatives of Guinness World Records. Federer wins Weber title for 8th time. Roger Federer showed he was ready for Wimbledon by defeating Andreas Seppi of Italy, 7-6, 1, 6-4, on Sunday in Halle, Germany, to claim his record-setting 8th Jerry Weber Open title. It was Federer's 4th title of the season, after wins at Brisbane, Dubai and Istanbul, and a timely boost for Wimbledon 8 days before the tournament begins. Kerala government declares June 22 as Snake Bird Day. Kerala government has declared June 22 as Snake Bird Day in a bid to protect the endangered species, which is also known as Indian darter. The formal announcement was made by State Minister for Forest Thiruvanchur Radhakrishnan at a function organized by Snake Bird Foundation in Thiruvananthapuram. India emerges as third largest FDI source for United Kingdom. India has emerged as the third largest foreign direct investment (FDI) source for United Kingdom, UK, in 2014-15. It was revealed in recently released report Inward Investment Report 2014-15 of UK Trade and Industry. This FDI source was based in terms of number of projects, that is source of inward investment. US has remained the largest source of inward investment for UK with a total of 564 projects in 2014-15 and was followed by France, 124 projects, and India, 122 projects. During the year 2014-15, the FDI from India increased by 65% and has resulted in creation of 7,730 jobs as well as protection of 1,620 jobs in UK. Sector-wise, Indian companies had invested in healthcare, agriculture technology, food and drink. India ranked 143rd in Global Peace Index, wasted $340 billion due to violence. The research firm based in Australia has ranked India as the 143rd out of the 162 nations listed in the Global Peace Index. The economic impact of containing and dealing with the consequences of India's levels of violence was estimated to cost the national economy $341.7 billion in 2014. Steffi Graf appointed Kerala's brand ambassador for Ayurveda. Tennis legend Steffi Graf was on Wednesday appointed the Ayurveda brand ambassador of Kerala. The Kerala Tourism Department was given sanction to sign an agreement with Graf to become Ayurveda brand ambassador as part of the department's Visit Kerala scheme, Chandi said. The tourism department had already held discussions and reached an agreement with the German former world number 1 tennis player, who had bagged 22 Grand Slam single titles. State Bank of India appoints Anshul Kant as CFO. State Bank of India, SBI, on Thursday announced the appointment of Anshul Kant as its Chief Financial Officer, CFO. Kant has been designated as the Deputy Managing Director and CFO of the bank, SBI said in a filing on BSE. India ranked best for investment. A ranking of destinations for attractiveness to foreign investors has placed India at the top among 110 countries. China has secured the 65th position and the US is at the 50th. In the 2014 index, India was at the 6th position and Hong Kong was number 1. The ranking is based on an index for baseline profitability that assumes that 3 factors affect the ultimate success of a foreign investment: how much the value of an asset grows, the preservation of that value while the asset is owned, and the ease of repatriation of proceeds from selling the asset. Mbani heads for BRICS Bank. Finance Minister Nhlanhla announced on Friday that former Reserve Bank Governor Tito Mbani has been appointed as the non-executive director to the board the BRICS New Development Bank. He added that Cabinet had endorsed the nomination of Leslie Masdorp for Vice President of the NDB. Masdorp recently parted ways with Advtech, where he was chief executive. He was previously the president of Merrill Lynch for Southern Africa. Indian Railways, Indian Army among world's biggest employers. WIF study. 2 Indian organizations, India Army and Indian Railways, are among the world's biggest employers. It was revealed in a research published by the World Economic Forum, WEF. Both organizations employ around 2.7 million people together. Indian Railways was placed at 8th position with 1.4 million staff, while Indian Army was placed at 9th position with 1.3 million employees in the list of world's biggest employers. U.S. Department of Defense. It is the world's biggest employer with over 3.2 million employees. Bharti Airtel becomes third largest mobile operator in world. Sunil Mittal-led Bharti Airtel has become the world's third largest mobile operator with 303 million subscribers. With operations in 20 countries, Bharti Airtel, which is present in India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Africa, has become the third largest mobile operator in the world in terms of subscribers, the company said in a statement. Topalov wins title. A quick but frustrating draw for Viswanathan Anand proved enough for Ruslan Topalov to claim the Norway Chess 2015 title in Stavanger, Norway, on Thursday. All the expectations of a thrilling battle for the title between the two leading players of the elite field came to naught once Topalov managed a safe position arising out of the Queen's Gambit declined.